What is up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the Two Game Podcast. This is episode number 146. I'm Matt Primo, joined by Christian Valencia.
Hey, everybody.
On this week's episode, we're going to be talking through our playlist, but we're also going to be talking about a couple of big announcements that happened with the Nintendo Direct. One of those being Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, which I am very much excited to talk about. And then Metroid Prime 4 Beyond finally got revealed. So we're going to be talking about that. And then at the back end of the episode, we're going to be talking about Star Wars. And I'm not talking about just any one property. Obviously, the Acolyte is going to be mentioned during this discussion. So if you have not seen it and you plan on seeing it, there might be spoilers if there. But we're going to be talking about kind of the current state of affairs with Star Wars, and then kind of what we want for the future of Star Wars. So that's going to be towards the back end of the episode. But without further ado, guys, let's just fucking jump into this shit, okay? Because we got lots to talk about. First up, we're going to be talking about our playlist there. What have you been watching the past few weeks?
I've been watching quite a few things. I got reincarnated as a seventh prince, which I finished the first season of. It's got 12 episodes. I just recently sent that to Chris Norman because I thought it was just right up his alley. And I guess the timing couldn't have been any better because he was like, "You have impeccable timing," because I was in a slump. And yeah, it's fucking hilarious. Like, it's got enough action, but a lot of humor. And I think you enjoy it too, but I know your backlist is pretty extensive. So trying to give you any, animes to watch it's like kicking a wall. I'm just not going to give. But, in case, it's there. But other than that, I've been watching, I watched MASH, Muscle and Magic, finished that season 2. I finished...
I thought you were talking about like MASH, like the old TV series.
Oh, no. Do that, you died. Old Snow died. But anyway, finished watching that. Finishing watching, I got reincarnated as Slime, season 3. Finishing that up. I started to watch Maids vs. Butlers. Yeah, that was raunchy.
Oh,
yeah.
Like High School DxD.
Yes, but prior, like years upon years before that. Yeah, the animations, it's not that great.
Oh, it's older. Okay.
It's very older. It's like
it's like High School DxD, but like with dicks.
It's like his grandpa.
What was that? That book you fucking found at Second and Charles that one time? Dick Fight Island or something.
Dick Fight Island. Dick Fight Island.
Dude, that shit was so fucking funny.
It was fantastic. And just out in the open for everybody to see. Yeah, but whatever. I digress. But yeah, I've been watching those. I haven't really watched anything else of merit. I tried watching some more of that Power Ranger, Loser Ranger one on Hulu, but I'm just gonna wait till that finishes so I can watch all of it in one sitting.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's it.
I honestly, I've watched a handful of things this past week, but it's nothing like just like I haven't watched a ton of shit because my watch list is usually pretty long when it comes to
it's expensive, sir.
I decided to watch the OG Child's Play today. The one with
well, indeed.
And I was like, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think I've seen that movie in fucking probably 20 years. Like, it's been a long time since I've seen the OG Chucky movie. And I was watching it. I was like, I remember like bits and pieces of it, obviously. But I was like, wow. I think 2 is the one where it really got great. And yeah. So I'm going to try to watch 2 here soon because we just did a Chucky versus Freddy episode, Carmen and I. Which y'all can catch that on Screencast. So if you are a fan of horror podcasts, we just started a new one, and it's called Screamcast. And we just did Freddy versus Chucky. Who would win in a fight? Epic horror battles. It's what
A
it's
lot.
called. I went to the theater and watched Inside Out 2 with the old Familia, and I have a review on that on our YouTube channel and our TikTok, and you can also find it on any of the podcast apps that you have. Pretty damn good movie, honestly. Maybe not as good as the first one, but I feel like the overall story was better. If you're a parent, this shit's going to hit you right in the feels. It's just, to me, we haven't really gotten a good Pixar movie in a long time, and this is Pixar returning back to its form. Like this was a pretty damn good movie. So that review's out. Immaculate. Cross that off my list. That was if y'all remember a couple weeks ago, I reviewed a movie called The First Omen. Immaculate is like that. The only difference is Sydney Sweeney and her big boobies are in it. That's the only difference.
Oh, I love that.
Well, where do I find this at?
Where do I find out? Yeah, my dish.
So Immaculate is pretty good. That review's coming out. It's supposed to come out tonight, actually. So by the time y'all listen to this, it should be out. Top Gun Maverick. Watch that for Father's Day weekend.
Oh, so good.
So good. So good. Like that shit just, like I'm just when you think America, fucking Top Gun.
I think it made it better was a mustache. I'm just saying.
I agree.
That's interesting. I mean, he had the words. He had the same words as a certain somebody in the first one. Same words.
Mm-hmm.
But no mustache.
So fucking disappointed by that.
Indeed.
But the other two things I've been watching, and I'm gonna save a little bit of my thoughts for this towards the back end of the episode. The Acolyte, which guys, actually, I'm gonna save that for just a minute. Actually, the Acolyte. I'm gonna save that towards the back end of the episode. The Boys. I watched the first 4 episodes. The last episode just came out yesterday. Pretty good stuff.
What is season 4?
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't watched it yet.
Maybe not as good as all the other seasons. It feels like this is because, they just announced that season 5 is going to be the last season. So this kind of feels like the calm before the storm. They're kind of just
right.
setting things up. Nothing's like really pushing the story forward here. So that'd probably be my biggest complaint about the Boys so far. But I mean, if you liked the first 3 seasons, you're gonna like what they have so far. What about listening, sir?
Besides listening to that beauty that dropped from Eskimo Cowboys and Ratata.
Ratata.
Ratata. That was the only thing I listened to because that was catchy.
Who's that Pokemon?
Nobody likes Ratata, sir.
You have to pick it for like the first fucking area. Fuck you.
I still don't. He was fodder. I thought he was.
I'd rather just fight with one fucking Pokemon than have you on my team. Fuck you.
Right? I'll get a Pidgey all day. No.
I've been listening to kind of just the same bands, honestly. Currents, Fit for a King, Dayseeker, Eminence, Knock Loose. I've been introducing some August Burns Red into my my little repertoire for a little bit. I've been putting them on shuffle. Greatest album of all time, Constellations. No big deal. But yeah, August Burns Red, really, really enjoying all that stuff. Yeah, not listening to a shit ton, man. I've been digging with some like podcasts, or I'll put like my phone down, I'll put it on YouTube, and I'll just listen to some of the shit like while I'm driving.
Right.
And a lot of it's like Star Wars stuff and shit like that. Hearing people bitch about it.
Oh, no pun intended, huh?
that shit gets me off. So whatever.
That's fair.
Now it's been a few weeks. What have you been playing, sir? I have not played anything new. I've been playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I have the first 2 areas 100%ed, and now I'm going to the 3rd zone. So for those curious out there, before we get into Christian's playlist, the DLC for Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree. I have made the decision, and it's a very tough decision, but I feel like it's the right decision here, okay? I will not be playing the DLC until I finish Rebirth. I need to finish Rebirth first and fucking get that shit. Because if I go to the DLC for Erdtree right now, it's gonna be a fucking another 4 months before I come back and play Rebirth, and I'm just gonna forget
It's
everything again.
true.
And I'll have to relearn all the fucking moves, and I'm hitting a groove right now. So if you have been wondering thoughts about Shadow of the Erdtree, we might talk about it a little bit on next week's episode, just to kind of brief people on what the DLC is. But as far as me playing it, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna try to be a big boy.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. Chris out there, I told him, I was like, "Oh, the DLC is getting 10 out of 10s on fucking all the sites. They're saying like it's the best DLC of all time, right?" And he's like, "Yeah, well, so much for a Rebirth, right?" I'm like, "Don't act like you fucking know me, motherfucker."
But he does.
And here I am turning a new leaf, and I'm saying I'm not fucking playing it. Fuck you.
Yeah, the temptation's there, sir. It's like the pie in the window, sir. It's like the pie in the window.
I'm not gonna lie. I could easily just buy it right now and go fucking play it when I'm done with this with this episode.
I mean, that's fair. I can't argue.
I did my best.
It's true. I can't argue this. A whole walking 5 minutes.
What have you been playing, sir?
Been playing some Call of Duty with my kids because they're getting to that age where they just like violence and yelling at people.
We
Fantastic.
cannot talk about Call of Duty on the podcast because when I tell you, me and Chris, we fucking pissed off a lot of people about Call of Duty.
Well,
We pissed off a lot of people. We did not anticipate
the violence?
the response. Yeah.
And well, it'll be all right. Been playing some Fortnite with the kids too. They just play some off the wall things. I can't. That's all I can say about that. But the newer one I've been playing, not even a newer game, Undermine. It's a roguelike indie game that was fucking $5 on the store. It was made, what did I tell you, 2020? Something like that? It's a pretty older game. It's for PlayStation 4. It is literally, you go in a mine and you go as far as down as you can go. And every time you die, you lose your gold, you lose all your artifacts, and you depending on what level you leveled up your bag, this is how much gold you retain. There are blessings and there are some curses that can either keep all the gold or you lose more gold, either or. But as you go, you continue to level up your health, your throwing of your axe swing, so on and so forth. But they also have potions, bombs that you can find, and also you can also find blessings. But all blessings that you get invoke a curse, so it's a double-edged sword there. But yes, you start off, and it's funny because you start off as a different character every time you play. So you could be like this little gnome-like woman, or you could be a male the next time you die, and so on and so forth. And the story pretty much is entertaining because you can't go back to the surface until you die. So, like, if you save some person, and then you go talk to said person that you saved, they're like, some other person saved me, I don't like you, you're a piece of crap. No, I don't want to listen to you because you're a piece of shit. Unlike that other savior, well, obviously died. So it makes the story even more funny because they don't really know that it's you, but whatever. It's very entertaining. It's very entertainingly, like, you can do multiple runs a game at a time. Like, one run took me probably 3 hours, and I got, like, each area has 4 levels. So, like, you have the cavern 1 through 4, and then the 4th one you fight a boss, get the key, and then continue to the next section. The bosses respawn. You have the option to fight them or not to fight them, but you get like 3,000 gold if you beat them. But they stay the same level, so you can literally go to the first boss, like I do every time, to get free 3,000 gold and just beat the dog shit out of you. Just delete. I mean, but yeah. But It's very entertaining, very fun. I didn't realize how old the game was till, you asked me when it came out. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, I was thinking it was a brand new game.
And I thought so too, but I guess not. Guess I was wrong.
We sure as fuck didn't talk about it on a podcast. I do know that.
No, definitely not. Then I've been playing some DayZ again and some PUBG with old Creston. But other than that, that's all I've been playing.
Nice. So, did you watch the Nintendo Direct
Yes,
this past week? Which
I
was
did.
a pretty damn good direct.
It was fantastic, to be honest with you.
With I mean, granted, we're comparing it to like past directs, like the last 3 or 4, and those have sucked big dick.
I was about to say this is probably the best one they've had in years.
And I'm just watching. I'm like, goddamn.
Fucking swinging. They figured out fences to this one.
So while we're not going to sit here and recap the entire direct, I know we typically do that after directs, after showcases, but I really just want to talk about 2 of the biggest games that got announced or revealed at this direct, because I do want to spend some time talking about Star Wars. Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. So I'm watching the direct right before this fucking gets announced, right? And I'm like, that looks like Zelda. That looks like fucking was it Link's Awakening style Zelda? Okay.
Yep.
Are we doing a remake? That was my first question was, is this a remake? And then they're playing through they're going through the trailer, and I was like, this doesn't sound like a remake. This does not sound like anything that I remember. And then what's his name? Link gets fucking captured and fucking taken off. And then we realize this is not a Zelda game. I mean, this is not a Link game. This is.
It's Zelda game.
It is a Zelda game. For the first time, we are being able to play as Zelda in Legend of Zelda. A lot of people were saying, they should have changed it to Legend of Link for this game.
Right.
Like, I'd allow that.
Now they can't do it. Now they can't do that.
They can't do it. It's fucking too late now.
Yep.
So, after watching this trailer, obviously we have talked about Zelda a lot on this podcast. You can go through numerous episodes of us talking about it. And even recently, Chris and I talked about like the future of Zelda, like what needs to be like the next game. And even before that, before Tears of the Kingdom got announced, or not announced, but before it got released, it was, hey, will we ever play as Zelda? Like, give me something new, give me something fresh. Let me play as Zelda. And we're finally being able to do that. And it's not like your stereotypical, like, oh, she's just going to pick up his sword and be a swordsman. No, she's got her own moveset. She has a staff. She can create shit. I called it Legend of Zelda Maker, kind of like, Super Mario Maker. You can create fucking anything, rocks, barrels, fucking steps to climb shit. You can create shit to throw at fucking enemies and use that in combat. And that just, to me, just seems like a lot of fun. A lot of fucking fun. So, personally, I am really, really down for this. I've been wanting to play as Zelda in a Zelda game for a long, long time. Been fucking begging for it, okay? Now, I wasn't expecting to give us a whole fucking game as her, but I will allow it, okay? So what are your thoughts, sir? Because we briefly talked about it. When I mentioned it, I sent you the text. I was like, bro, fuck yes. So I want to know.
I said, fuck no.
So has your opinion changed?
No.
So why not?
Because the multiple times that you are actually able to play Zelda, the depiction of her is different every time. Like this one, she has pretty much a fucking magic staff that makes shit. The other ones were a sword, a bow. I mean, and we're talking about obviously the Dynasty Warrior versions of Zelda.
And
then
anything wrong with this?
No, I'm just saying, like, all the other versions of her don't have a fucking staff, a magic staff that does everything for her. That sounds like a fucking handicap to me. Link wouldn't have those fucking things. Sure wouldn't. He'd be fucking thrown on the beach. Just thrown on the beach, nothing. Fucking figure it out yourself, bitch.
Dude, Link's in the fucking background watching this fucking unfold, and he's like, she gets
So
to
this is
fucking
how that
create
feels.
shit? She gets magic?
Right? What kind
What
of
the
bullshit
fuck?
is that? I get courage. Fuck you.
Courage.
But I think they should have done it in two different ways. Two games, like they did Oracle and Seasons. Remember those?
I mean, I remember. I never played them, but I remember them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they had two different games,
Yep.
so you could depict your character. You know what I'm saying? Because there are some diehard out there that I'm not saying I'm diehard that I wouldn't play. I'm still gonna play it because I played every other Zelda game that's ever been created. I'm not. When I think of that art style, I think of yes, we remade one of the Game Boy versions, like Link's Awakening. That was awesome. Now, if you're gonna go back to this art style, are you going to continue said story, or is this story its own entity, its own universe?
It's going to be, I personally think it's just going to be its own thing.
Yeah.
Its own universe. I mean, if we're being completely honest here, does any of the stories match up?
Some do.
I mean, some do, yes, but it's a little bit more.
I mean, they're all reincarnations.
Obscure.
They're all reincarnations.
It's more obscure as far as the story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, Tears of the Kingdom follows Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Obviously.
And like Majora's
Mask.
Yeah. That's so on and so forth. But a lot of them, I mean, they have their stories. All of them are all reincarnated in different worlds. Blah, 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 yada, yada, that whole jazz. I'm not going to play it, but I'm not looking forward to it. I enjoy the animation. That's spot on. That looks so good. I like that art style that they did. I enjoyed the shit out of Link's Awakening. I wish I knew what that fucking game was.
The great thing about Link's Awakening, and it's the best thing, they said, okay, we have this theme song. Just hear me out. Let's just play it on repeat. And I'm like, that's a fucking fantastic idea.
I mean, it's not gonna make anything worse.
Like, it's a fucking fantastic whole theme, and they legitimately did not stop. It was on loop the entire game, and I was completely down for it. So I'm curious to know if they're going to do like a Zelda theme or something like that.
I mean, I wouldn't say no to that.
I'd be okay with it for sure.
I mean, that is what it is.
Personally, I am fucking excited to play this game. Fucking excited. It comes out in September 24th. I'm picking that out off the top of my head. I don't know for a fact. But it comes out in September, I believe. I was initially thinking, dude, I could save this for a couple months. Maybe not even a couple months, but like a month and a half. And just fucking raw dog this shit on the fucking airplane to Japan.
Yep.
But then I was like, damn, that's a month and a half where I have to fucking look at this game in the face and not play it.
I don't think you'll beat it before we leave.
Challenge accepted.
Sir, you 100% all that shit.
I don't 100% on everything. Fuck you. I don't.
Sir, you don't have to lie to me.
I don't.
Well, all those fucking shrines say otherwise.
Okay. Fucking one time. Okay, fucking one time.
One time at band camp.
Tears of the Kingdom, I was gonna 100%, but I have to go back to it. So it's eventually. I mean, it's there. Why not fucking 100% it?
Statement stands. Fucking dickbag.
Now, when it comes to like 100%ing, like I'll use Spider-Man as an example, or even like Final Fantasy. I won't 100% Final Fantasy because it requires you, especially when it comes to like trophies, to go back and play that shit on hard mode. And I'm just like, I just played this game. Why do I want to go back and fucking play it again? I have
Right.
other games I need to play. So that kind of turns me off from 100% in that. But like Spider-Man, there's no fucking difficulty trophy there. So I 100% that entire fucking game. And I
Oh,
loved
I
every
did
second of
too. First playthrough, I 100%ed it.
it. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, I would 100% a lot of things if it didn't involve a second playthrough. That's just a
It didn't
huge
involve
turn off for
800
me.
hours.
Yeah, huge turn off for me. Like Elden Ring, or even like Bloodborne. Bloodborne, before I even knew that you could fucking finagle it to get all 3 endings in one fucking shot. Um, I mean, fuck, I don't want to fucking play through that shit 3 times. Like, fucking second favorite game of all time. But I mean, goddamn, I don't want to play through this thing immediately after playing through it already.
I mean, that's fair. You can't argue this.
So I'm pretty fucking excited. The fact that you can create shit a la Super Mario sounds very interesting to me. And it gives me it tingles my jingles a little bit, sir, because I can fuck around with the combat a little bit and do some different things. It's gonna make
You're
it
gonna beat
not
Ganondorf
so.
with a dildo.
Yes.
I can build a
Yes.
dildo, and I'm gonna fucking dick slap him in the face.
Did you just hit me with a dildo? Yes. Yes, I did.
Yes, I did.
What
How's
are you
that
gonna
make you
fucking do
feel?
about it, bitch?
Come at me,
How's
bro.
that make you feel?
Come at me. Jesus
Just
Christ.
different variations of dildos. That's what we're gonna create.
And the sad part is, it's not gonna happen. Not from us. I'm talking about anybody else in the world. It's gonna be on your mind. Let me see what I can draw and get away with and beat the game with.
like if you can create things kind of like Tears of the Kingdom, like if you have that much, I guess if you have that much leeway with what you can create, like if you think about it, you can create it in Tears of Kingdom, essentially, right? Like people created fucking Gundams in that thing.
Yeah.
But
They also
also,
created half naked fucking dudes with big dongs. I mean,
and the entire time we're sitting here, we're like, Nintendo, like, what did you think was going to fucking happen when you give the power to create anything to a bunch of dudes?
right?
So I'm saying, did you give us this full power? Did you not learn your lesson? Did you give us the full power again? And
Just
now
to
we
see.
have Zelda that we can do all this shit with. I don't see this ending well.
But it's gonna be entertaining.
It's gonna be very. Your staff is shaped weird. I know. Curves to the left a little bit.
Get so much power. Jesus.
Wait, Christian, why is your staff so much bigger than mine?
Just you know, why is it a different color?
Dude, right?
Oh.
So, little sidebar, okay? So, I was at the hospital earlier, and Tracy was there, and Richard was there as well.
Oh,
and
sweet Jesus.
We were talking about her getting married, right? And she said, "Yeah, we got married on D-Day." And Richard said, "I bet it was D-Day, am I right?" And I fucking looked at him. I fucking looked at Richard, and I'm just fucking laughing. And Tracy is just staring at him. She's like, "Yeah," and she's smiling. And I look at Richard. I'm like, she doesn't get it, Richard.
She has no idea. Not a clue.
She had no fucking idea. And it made it even better.
That's
and I don't know if she ever did get it.
No. I'm sure somebody explained it to her eventually.
Yeah, oh fucking Richard, man. I bet it was D-Day, am I right? I fucking about passed out.
They can't with him. Oh, that's fantastic.
I about threw up.
I love it. Absolutely love it.
All right, so before we talk about the next game, the biggest, I guess you could call it the biggest game that got revealed at the Nintendo Direct.
It's one of the three.
One of the three, yeah. I need to take a minute to do some housekeeping, okay? Because we just need to update y'all on the state of affairs of the 2 Game podcast, all right? In the description below, there are links to all of our social media accounts, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, all that bullshit, okay? We would greatly appreciate it if you just pause this video for like fucking 20 seconds, okay? It's about the length of our sex lives, all right? Just do us the courtesy of going to like, subscribe, follow on all those accounts. That really helps us expand and improve the podcast. That gets our name out there, and it gets a bigger following, and it gets us to be seen easier on with the algorithms and shit like that. So we
And
would
hated by the
greatly
other
appreciate.
ones.
Wait, do what?
And hated by the ones on TikTok.
Yeah. Which I was gonna get to in just a second. If you want up to date, like the day of instant reactions, you need to go follow us on TikTok, because that is where I do those instant reactions. I don't import those and move those over to YouTube or Facebook, anything like that. That's strictly just TikTok. So when the Nintendo Direct happened, as soon as it revealed Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, within 10 minutes, I had a video up. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, which we're about to talk about in just a second, I had a video up within 10 minutes of it being announced. The Acolyte, episode 4, within 10 minutes of me watching the episode that night, which that was right around like 9:10 was when I finished it, I think. Within 10 minutes, I had an instant reaction video on TikTok. So if you want those instant reactions from us, and like those breaking news, like when Superman suit got revealed, I fucking did a video on that. Go to our TikTok, which the link is down below. Make sure you follow. And then there you are. You have all the content, instant reactions, so you don't have to wait till the next week for us to fucking come on here and talk about it. So we would greatly appreciate it if you did that. There's also a link to our Patreon. If you like what you're listening to, we would greatly appreciate it if you went to our Patreon, patreon.com/2game, and support us there. And again, that helps us improve the podcast, get better equipment, and provide the supporters with better content. So yeah, that's just a little bit of the housekeeping I needed to mention. And with that being said, let's jump into the other game that got announced with the Nintendo Direct, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. Dun 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 dun.
Wasn't this announced like 2017?
Yes. Well,
what had
out there? What had happened was, okay, it got announced, and then it went on like radio silence for like 2 years. And then it got announced that, hey, we're just joking. And they stopped production. They scrapped everything and started over with a brand new game.
Isn't it?
So I guess it wasn't what they had intended it to be, or they went into a different direction. I don't know. Maybe they, I don't know, gave it to some people as like, I don't know, like alpha testers or beta testers, whatever, and they're like, yeah, this kind of sucks, bruh. And they're like, we should just scrap it. So then they announced that they were going to restart it. I think 2-3 years ago, some shit like that. Let's just say the podcast has gone through 2 of these announcements, and we've been here for 4 years now. Okay,
right.
And it was announced before the podcast, so there you go.
It's fair. It's been there.
So Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, what did you think about the reveal there, sir?
I was super stoked, and then somewhat relieved that it finally fucking happened. It's only been, like I said, announced since 2017. I mean, but just to see actual gameplay of it, oh, dude, it was so good. It's so good, especially for the Switch. Like, come on, that looks so fucking good. I can only foresee problems, graphically, from all the other fucking immaculate looking games that have been out. They just have crashing issues and all that. But hopefully with these new Switches that, eventually they'll come out with, should solve that problem, allegedly.
So that is the real question right there. Is this going to be for the regular Switch or the brand new Switch? I think, and you can go ahead and fucking book this. Speaking of which, actually, we'll get into that in just a second. Switch 2. I think this is going to be a launch game for the Switch 2, because it didn't give us a specific date. That and Mario. I think will be the 2 Switch launch titles for the brand new Switch. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if they made this game also for the Switch that we have right now. I would not be surprised, but I think there's going to be a souped up version of this game, possibly for the Switch 2. What do you think? You think they're going? You think they're going to do? You think they're going to do for both versions? Or you think?
I think they'll have both versions. I think they will.
I think they'd be dumb not to.
Right. I think it'd be cost effective. I think they would fuck over a lot of people and they piss them off. But then again, they've been waiting for God knows how many years now. Because I don't do math. I don't do math.
I'm from Mississippi, so don't fucking look at me.
But still, they've been waiting a while, and if they put that on Switch 2, and the only way you play it is on Switch 2, you're gonna piss off a lot of people, but you're also gonna make a lot of money because a lot of people want that game.
It honestly wouldn't surprise me if this was a Switch 2 exclusive. It would not surprise me whatsoever.
No.
But I think you are. I think you're alienating your fan base.
Yep.
And you're forcing them, like, I don't know, you're forcing their hand to go buy this new Switch. And this was supposed to come out on this Switch originally anyways, okay? It's because it's y'all's fault. It took fucking 10 years to fucking get made.
Right.
So personally, I think it will be made for both. I think there will be some type of incentive to go out other than graphics, okay? Other than graphics. I think there will be some type of incentive. They're like, hey, if you buy this, you get the game and everything, like the Switch 2. Like, I don't know what the incentive would be, but they're gonna do something to make you want to go buy the Switch 2, but it won't be necessary.
Yeah.
But the game looks like Doom a lot.
Oh, it does, and it looks so good.
It does. I've played Prime before. I don't remember shit from it, honestly.
I don't remember shit from it either, but I remember shooting people in the face.
Shout out?
Yeah, definitely.
I will allow this.
I will.
But yeah, I got Doom vibes. Obviously, it's not going to be as fast as Doom, and obviously, there's not like fucking like heavy metal music being played in the background. But like the second it started playing, I was like, "That's fucking Doom right there," and I'm not mad at it.
I'm not mad at it.
So again, this game got announced for 2025, so not coming out this year. And again, let us know in the comments below, guys. Do you think Metroid Prime 4 Beyond is going to be a Switch 2 exclusive, or do you think it's going to be for both generations, as they say? But I'm pretty fucking excited for it. All right, so let's close out the episode with our final topic, sir, and that is the current and future state of affairs of Star Wars. All right. I think if you go and you're watching anything with Disney, actually, you know what? I kind of want to start over. This point forward, okay, I feel like I have to put a disclaimer out there because I've been called every name in the book the past fucking week on fucking TikTok. I've had people tell me they hate me from a fucking 2-minute long video. I mean, let's be honest, guys. No one hates me more than I hate myself, okay? So you can go fuck yourself.
I don't hate you, sir.
Thank you.
I'm here for you.
Shout out to that.
Indeed.
So, little disclaimer. Any of our opinions in this is just, one, we're going to exaggerate our opinions just a little bit, just for entertainment purposes, okay? So, I'm going to put that disclaimer out there a little bit. Two, I'm not so pissed off. Like, a lot of people will judge us based off of us dropping F-bombs every 5 seconds. That doesn't mean we're like super fucking angry about this, okay? So it's just how we talk. So just
we're an EMS. It happens.
Exactly. That it's just it's another word for us. All right.
That's it. It's true.
And then the other thing is, if you're listening to us and you think to yourself, "Wow, they really have shitty opinions. I love this shit." Then guess what? You can fucking be okay. That's okay. It's okay to like something that we don't. And it's okay for us to hate something that you love. And I hope that if you're watching this and if you like The Acolyte, if you liked Obi-Wan or The Mandalorian or even the sequel trilogy, for whatever reason, if you like those movies,
Ugh.
if you like them, that's fine. Okay, that's fine.
Doesn't mean you're
And
right, but still.
it doesn't mean you're right. But I'm glad you enjoy them. I'm glad you find somewhere in that shithole of a fucking movies that you can find some type of enjoyment in it. By all means, I'm happy for you. All right, but that doesn't mean that we're gonna sit here and try to be fucking politicians and just jerk off every single property from Star Wars, because we're not going to do that. We're going to try to be respectful. So I'll just leave that as my disclaimer going into this. You have not watched The Acolyte, correct?
No. I mean, I watched certain scenes, but other than that, no.
I did show you the Power of Mini scene.
Yes, unfortunately. Thank you for that.
And it might be the worst scene that is in Star Wars, period. And
Yeah.
we know, I've spoken it on this podcast numerous times before, Superman Leia is the worst moment in Star Wars, period. Okay? You can't fucking say anything otherwise. Like Jar Jar Binks doesn't bother me as much as Superman Leia and this fucking Power of Mini. And if you're watching us on YouTube or on Spotify, it's like the Power of Mini. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on, man? Like, who approved this?
Yeah.
Who approved this bullshit?
Yeah.
So the Acolyte, the issue is not just one thing with the Acolyte, okay? But the big thing with Star Wars right now, and the Acolyte is kind of proving this point right now, is they're taking what has come before in regards to the prequel trilogy, OG trilogy, fuck, even the sequel trilogy at times. They're taking that lore, they're taking the stories that have already been told, and they're just fucking
ripping them
shitting
apart.
all over that shit.
Ripping them apart.
Now, a lot of people, and I'll end up doing like a separate TikTok video for some of these topics because I think they need their own videos. Like Kiadi Mundi is in The Acolyte, episode 4, which I don't know if you're keeping track. It's like 84, 85 years before the events of Phantom Menace. And I don't know if you remember.
It was 100 years.
It's. I think they said it was like 84 years, but it's within 100 years of.
Yeah. Their life expectancy ain't that great. Granted, it's only in Legends, but still, they're not like Yoda.
Personally, I'm not like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm not fucking getting pissed off that he's in the fucking show. I think it's fucking stupid. I don't know why you would subject yourself to such criticisms from the fan base. Like, you know, this is going to piss everybody off, especially with the timelines and whatnot. Like, why would you include him? You go make another character. Go make another character. So I'm not really been out of shape at the fact that this dude is in the fucking TV series. Like, that's not making the TV series shittier than it is, okay? Like, trust me, they're doing a lot of other things to make people fucking hate that series, okay?
Yep.
It's not this inclusion of him. But the issue is they're just shitting on the stories that have already happened. They're shitting on the lore. They're shitting on the continuity of Star Wars. Now, a lot of people say, oh, well, they've adjusted things in the past to make it better. And again, that's one of the reasons why I'm not really fucking been out of shape about it. The issue is, why put yourself in that position? You know, why not just create another character?
Right.
And that's what Disney is really struggling with right now.
Yeah.
And then we also have some of the other shit with, I don't know. It's like they're taking the characters and they're trying to, and look, I'm a tiptoe around this because I don't want this to turn into a political debate or anything like that.
Yep.
But I feel like it needs to be said. But I feel like this needs to be said just because we can't really talk about this without mentioning this. if they want to bring forth a female character as the main protagonist of a TV show or a new trilogy, a movie, whatever, that's fine.
Right.
That's fine. I don't know if y'all know this, but I don't know. Princess Leia was a pretty fucking dope character.
Right.
She wasn't the center, but I mean,
Other than
we would.
Superman, it was fine.
Yeah, we don't talk about that.
Oh, you said it. You just did.
uh, fuck you. I can do whatever I want.
No, fuck you, sir.
I said good day. Like, we are okay with female characters or even different types of characters. We're fine with that. We just want the characters to be good. Like, develop those characters in a meaningful way that makes us care for them and makes us root for them. And when they fail, we're fucking pissed off or we're upset by it. Like, make us care for them.
Right. I could care less what anything else was. I could care less. Just make me enjoy their presence. Make them entertaining. Don't just force it down my throat. Shut up. You know, that's the biggest thing. You're trying too hard with something that could be super simple.
Yes.
I mean, that's all it is. You're trying way too hard. And then you're just broadcasting it too hard. Like, just let it go.
You know, on the flip side, I don't even know if they're trying too hard. I think they're really just throwing shit in there just to appease a certain group of people. And it's like, look, I'm all about inclusion. I'm all about everybody getting their Star Wars. And, Star Wars is for everybody. I get it.
Yep,
it's not just for me. But let's put some effort into it. Like, let's make the characters good. By all means. Right. I don't care what they are, whatever. Let's just make the characters good.
But stop trying to change the lore. Yes, you may not agree with said lore, but it's there for a reason. You wouldn't have Star Wars if you didn't have the lore. Just say. It wouldn't be here for you to add your story to it if it wasn't for the lore. Respect the lore. Stop trying to change it. You know, despite whether you like it or not, it's there. That's why they have the lore and they have legends. We don't believe in legends, but some people do, and some people believe hardcore in the lore. Why don't you just mix the two? There's a reason why. I mean, they have books that are legends. They have books that are based on the lore, and they're good. People read them all the time. I have no problem with it. But here we are going, yeah, screw it, fuck it. This is my Star Wars. That's nice. You can have your Star Wars, but make it entertaining.
Yeah, make it compelling. Make us care for the character. That is really what all this comes down to is story and characters. That's all I give a shit about. That's all I give a shit. We'll use what the fuck was her name in Rogue One? I fucking forgot her name. But old chick. That's it. That's the main protagonist for fucking Rogue One.
That was an awesome movie. I love that movie.
I think Rogue One is one of the best Star Wars movies.
I agree, 100%.
And guys, female protagonist. And guess what? They developed her character. They developed other characters around her and made it a intriguing and invested storyline as well. Like you they did a good job with those story with the characters when we know how the movie is going to fucking end.
Yeah,
like we know these characters don't live.
But I still care.
Exactly. That's what we want. And I'm all about having the female characters and whatnot. Like the chick that's in The Acolyte. No, okay? Like, no. But there's so many more issues with it, okay? It's the character, it's the acting on top of it. It's just like they just half-baked it, essentially. And you watch all of Obi-Wan, right?
Yeah.
So, what's her name? Not Revan. Reva in the show. The Sith, one of the witches, one of the sisters, excuse me.
Yes.
I thought I liked the character. I liked her motivations. I liked the story. The issue with that, and it has nothing to do with her skin color or anything like that. It has to do with the fact that she was overacting.
Right. She was giving. Well, she was way too in depth in that.
Like,
She'd have backed off
dial
like
it down a little
20%.
bit.
20%. You'd have been right there where you needed to be. Because the main man was in there, and not because he's the main man, but Darth Vader's savage.
He is. And if the acting was just better, that character
You
would
would
be
have been
one
a
of the best
lot more
villains.
memorable fight with him that you would have had.
Exactly. And it was a mixed bag that entire series, and that's one of the biggest issues that I have with Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's just the acting right there. But with that being said, that is an issue across all of these Disney Plus shows: acting and writing.
Yeah.
You're spending they spend $180 million, okay, on the Acolyte. I couldn't tell you what any of that money went to because the set designs. Do you remember that old TV show, like what was it called, Dinosaurs, that came out in like the 90s?
Yes.
It was like
Not
it
your
was
mama.
almost it was kind of like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with the fucking the heads and shit like
Yeah.
that. It kind of like
Not
that.
the
Yeah,
mama. Not the mama.
that's what the sets look like, man. They look like fucking from the 90s. They look like fan made sets. They look like, and I know a lot of people gave me shit about this on fucking TikTok the other day. They said this comment was a little too far. I said it looks like Sci-Fi Channel Star Wars.
Yeah.
And they're like, damn, bro, like you didn't have to be that disrespectful towards Sci-Fi Channel.
Truth hurts. It pissed you off, but it'll set you free.
But like when you think about set designs and like those like C-rated like horror movies that comes on the Sci-Fi Channel, those are the sets I'm talking about. They
Right.
look fake. They don't look real whatsoever. And that's one of the issues with the Acolyte. And that's issues with a lot of the Star Wars shit that's going on.
Right.
So obviously they're shitting on all the lore. That's kind of the big issue that I have with everything. They don't care what came before it. What do you want from, I guess, future Star Wars projects? Do you like how would you fix Star Wars at this point? I know that's kind of a vague question.
I'd. It's kind of hard because they've gone so deep with it. Shout out. It's almost to the point where you have to pretty much just redo it. And I'm not saying like completely redo Star Wars. I'm not saying that. Like more of, hey, we're just gonna scrap all this shit. We're just gonna start anew. Um, these are all great stories, but we're gonna have to start something new. Um, I think what I would do is I would give what everybody else wants is Darth Revan.
Ooh.
Everybody wants that. Everybody wants that. Um, I would definitely probably start there. I would probably start at the Old Republic and work my way up. It's probably how I would fix Star Wars. But I would
think
also consult some lore with Lucas. I mean, yes, he does have some ideas there, but we've also gone away and astray from some of his stuff, and look where it got us.
You know, I was asked the question the other day of would Lucas ever take over?
I don't want him to take over. I just want to have some of his input.
Or even just like if he came back for like a movie or a TV series or something like that, and he did whatever he wanted, and he could just fucking peace out.
That
I don't think he would. Honestly.
I don't think he would either.
Look, I'm not saying I'm not part of the problem here with with how violent Star Wars fans can get,
Right.
as far as the words that we speak, I guess. But I don't think he wants any of that fucking. I don't think he wants any of that pie. You know.
No, I don't think. I think they contaminated that pie long ago.
So my thing is, I think you guys start at the basic level, and we need. And I thought Filoni, the guy that did the Mandalorian, him and Favreau, I thought Filoni was a creative control person for Disney Plus, unless I'm wrong.
I don't know.
We need a Feige. a Kevin Feige at the helm, and he goes, okay, look, we need to have discussions on all these TV shows. These are the 3-4 TV shows that we have planned. Let's all meet in a room. Let's get our stories together, kind of brief outlines of what those TV shows are going to be like. And then, let's do each individual script for the TV series or the movies or whatever. And then let's come back together and make sure that it fucking works together. Okay? And I think you need that type of person to really. I think you need that type of person at the controls to make this better, because that was one of the issues with the sequel trilogy. I think it was the biggest issue with the sequel trilogy. Regardless of how you feel about the dialogue and the acting and the characters and whatnot, the biggest issue with the sequel trilogy is the fact they didn't have a fucking plan.
No, it was just loosey goosey.
It was, and we have, and I'll even go a step further. So the Force Awakens happens. And for whatever you will say about the sequel trilogy, I think The Force Awakens is probably the best movie out of the three. But the fact is that it's basically a New Hope clone, and so it's not very original in that sense. But it seemed like they were on a path there, and then The Last Jedi came in, and Rian Johnson just said, "Yeah, how about we do this instead?" And
Right.
he just did all that fucking bullshit and fucked with it, and then kind of painted them into a corner. I mean, when The Last Jedi happened, I mean, how are they supposed to fucking continue that story? Snoke was dead. Like, okay, like he just fucking died all willy-nilly, and then they fucking tore down what the Jedi means, and Luke's fucking throwing the lightsaber and shit like that, right? So to me, they have to get on the same page. And that kind of goes back to the whole shitting on the lore and stuff like that. It's just characters not acting like themselves.
No.
And
Mm-mm.
and and like I said, like Rian Johnson, he basically says anybody can be a Jedi, essentially.
Yeah,
Anybody can have the
not
Force.
how that works. I mean, anybody can have the Force, yes. If you are tuned to it, yes. You can't just poof, have the Force, yeah. No. Easy.
But the same thing kind of happens in the Acolyte. Spoilers for the Acolyte. You're probably not going to watch it, are you?
Yeah.
Okay. Spoilers for the Acolyte. Skip ahead like 30 seconds. They do like some Force pregnancy shit, and the two twins are part of the Force. Like, they weren't conceived naturally. So it's the same way that Anakin was conceived, by the Force. So it's like, okay, well, now Anakin's not the chosen one. Like, that's the kind of the vibes that you're giving us, is the fact that you're making it less significant.
You can't all over it.
Exactly. So you need an outline, you need a plan going forward. Like Mandalorian. Okay, look, this is what season 1 could look like. If we have a season 2, what does that look like? Okay,
Right.
and what does a 3 look like? Give me a basic outline. I don't need to know every character arc or anything like that, but like, where does the main beats, where does the main story go? And I think that's what Star Wars needs more than anything. We need someone that can control all of it and make decisions. And by someone control it, I mean someone not Kathleen Kennedy, because we have seen her track record so far.
And
It has not been good.
It's been garbage. You know who'd be a good one is the guy who voiced Darth Maul in the animated series.
Oh,
I can't think of his name.
Sam Witwer?
Yes.
Whitmer?
Yes.
The guy that was Doomsday in
Yes.
Marvel?
Yeah, indeed. He is a big old nerd with that. And I think he would do a really good job about it.
And you also need to bring in some fans.
Right.
Like, don't just bring in Joe Schmo off the street just because he fucking wrote one episode of this TV show that you never fucking heard of before and you can buy him for cheap. Don't fucking just do that.
No.
Go get a fan. I promise you, there are fans out there that can write really good stuff. You remember that Darth Maul short film?
Yes.
That shit was some of the best Star Wars I've ever seen.
Right.
and it's fucking what, 10 minutes long?
Yeah. I've seen
And it's
some
fan made.
homemade fucking Star Wars films of, forgot what show, I don't know if you were watching it, but I can't think of the name of it, but they had a big fight scene that they all personally did in Star Wars. Sith and his apprentice showed up against like 6 or 7 different Jedi, and he wiped the floor on all of them except for one. I mean, shit, you even look at the Old Republic video games. The cinema scenes in that, fucking fantastic. I mean, look at the Twin Brothers. You ever seen those cinema scenes of the Twin Brothers of the Old Republic?
Ah, dude, it's been so long.
Dude, those things are just so good. And it just did it. It's in the war, in the middle of the war. The father pretty much just doesn't say anything. But he has twin boys. They're both in the war. One gets more hurt than the other, but he ends up turning into a Sith and tries to kill the dad, ends up killing his brother, and that's when his dad acknowledges him. Like, the story is there. You just have to write it the right way.
That is key.
I mean, that's all it is. Like, I don't care if you throw female character, lead character. I don't give a shit. Make the story good, make it go somewhere, and respect the lore. That's it.
That's all we asked for.
I don't care. I care less. That's it.
So at this point, I don't have a lot of faith that they're going to do Star Wars right over the next 3 or 4 years. You know, I mean, we have that Rey film coming out, and I'm not opposed to Rey having another story. I mean, we've talked about it before on the podcast when it originally got announced. Like, I'm not opposed to the idea, but you're gonna have to do a little bit more legwork than what you fucking did in the sequel trilogy. Okay, you're gonna have to fucking do some shit.
Oh yeah.
Like, even with her being the main protagonist in the sequel trilogy, I mean, did we really care about her as a character? I don't think we did.
Nope.
We didn't.
Mm-mm.
We didn't fall in love with any of those characters in the sequel trilogy.
No, because they were all
except
over
Kylo Ren. Except Kylo Ren. I will die on this hill that I really enjoyed Kylo Ren in that series, and I think they should have made him the main protagonist / antagonist.
I agree. I think that would have been awesome.
Because he came back around at the very end, kind of like Darth Vader, but I think the way they were going about it, it just seemed like he was going to be the main guy the entire time. And I wish what they would have done was Kylo Ren started on the dark side, Rey started on the light side, on the light side, right?
Swapsies?
And they fucking swapped for the final movie.
Oh yeah,
that would have been fucking cool, and that would have been a fucking, like, a female villain.
That would have been a fucking "I am your father" moment. That's what it would have been.
That would have been fucking great. Would have been great.
Same.
But they didn't fucking do that. They made it seem like that was the route it was going.
Yep.
But they didn't. So I think I would have liked that a lot better.
I agree.
As far as like the next few years, I don't know. They need to stay away from the Skywalker shit altogether. But when they do go away from the Star Wars, the Skywalker shit, we get the Acolyte. So I don't know, man. It's just, there's no hope right now. There's no hope right now.
No.
I want Star Wars to be so good, but it's just not at this point.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Yeah. Mm-mm. Well, let us know down in the comments below, guys, what you think about Star Wars right now and what they need to right the ship, what we need to do to make Star Wars better again. Are we right? Are we wrong? Let us know down below. But let's go ahead and close this episode out, sir, with our weekly recommendation. What do you recommend to the fine people out there?
I recommend Undermine, that game I talked about earlier. It's a very fun, addictively cheap game. It's worth the price 10 times over.
How much was it?
I think it was like $5.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
No, it was on the sales. It was like the 75% off sale, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
The summer sales, I think it was. But yeah, I was like, huh, I'll get it. Just it looked good, and I played it, and I still continue to play it and play it some more. But it reminds me a lot of the what was that other one? Skull, the hero killer. It reminds me a little bit of that mixed in with Hades.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah.
That sounds kind of hot.
Yeah.
You might as well be on that, sir.
I mean, like I said, it's fun as shit.
You should have led it with that.
Oh, sorry.
I'm going to recommend The Acolyte. JK, don't watch that shit.
That's fun. It's fucking ruined.
I'm actually going to recommend. I know it's not really kind of our fan base or the people that watch us, but I'm gonna recommend Inside Out too. So if you are a parent and you have some children, I recommend going to the theater and watching Inside Out too. I think it is one of the better movies that have been released here lately. I don't know if it will end up in my top 10 when it's all said and done, but it's going to be pretty fucking close, I think. Like I really enjoyed Inside Out too, and it hits you in the feels, especially if you're a parent. Bring the kids along. I mean, we paid $40 as a family and went on Tuesday. So I mean, $6 tickets, can't beat that.
Yep.
And they all liked it. And they had fun. So I'd recommend going to see Inside Out 2 or waiting for it to come out on digital or whatever the fuck. But guys, that is going to be it from us. We appreciate y'all sticking around and listening to us for the last hour. Again, like, subscribe, follow, do all that bullshit. Really helps us out. And all of the links are down below in the description. But yeah, thank you so much. And we will catch y'all next time on another episode. Later.